honest question. Could you be eating healthier? Let me tell you the secret. Guys, the key to eating healthy is in the preparation, and that is where Flex Pro meals comes in. They prep, cook, and ship delicious, low-calorie, made from your favorite recipes with a healthy twist, with balanced macronutrients. These all-natural meals made with whole foods are your ticket to living a healthy lifestyle. There's a lot of benefits to having meals prepared for you. It takes the guesswork out of what you eat. It saves time. And delivery is always free. Each meal is strategically developed by nutritional experts and prepared by chefs to keep you on track and in shape. Now, you can finally track your calories. Try their street tacos, Mongolian beef, and garlic chicken Alfredo. If you can heat and eat and want to live a healthier lifestyle, Flex Pro meals are for you. Visit flexpromeals.com. Use the promo code Chael and receive 20% off your first week of meals. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I don't know where to begin. Sometimes something is so outlandish. It is such a level of ridiculousness that sometimes a guy will take it and put it on a television show and name it ridiculousness. I mean, there's some things that are hard to talk about. Boxing. Boxing is comically, inspiringly fake news that will never end. If you want to have the biggest boxing fight of all time, if you are a boxing historian and you are asked on a boxing show, what is the biggest fight of all time? There will not only be a response by the players involved, there will be judges to judge whether or not they gave the right answer, of which are lies to start with. The biggest boxing fight of all time is as follows. Whoever put out a press release and claimed that they had numbers prior than the previous false press release that used to have the previous false numbers. It's insane. And technology would agree with me. Like, you wouldn't need to use science, or you wouldn't even need to use numbers. You would just have to use logic. How would a fight in the 1980s be bigger than a fight in 2020? Just by example. When people didn't even have pay-per-view, when closed captioning at places in select areas took place in movie theaters, where you could go in and put your $5 down just like you were going to watch a movie. You could get a seat and a popcorn, and they would bring in a feed, and you could watch two guys fight. I mean, just by example, people didn't even have pay-per-view. They didn't even have it. They didn't even know what it meant, except for a select group of people. But this is what drove an entire sport in the 80s. And prior to that, you used to have to watch big-time boxing fights. I'm talking about Marciano Jr. I'm talking about Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm talking about Jack Johnson. You would watch that over a transistor radio. Forget about having a feed, whether you could pay for it legally or even have a corrupted illegal feed. Forget about even having a visual stimulus of an image of the fight. That's not to say that Jack Johnson couldn't draw, or that Ray Robinson couldn't draw, or Marciano couldn't draw if they were given the technology benefits of today. I mean, do you see how basic logic would tell you that there is no way that there is a fight from the 80s that is bigger than a fight of today if we're basing it purely on numbers? Arenas built by man with brick and mortar were not the same size in that time frame as they are today. So you would have no level playing field to tell me about a Foreman or a Muhammad Ali that were boxing back in that day in arenas of brick and mortar that were built by people decades ago as today. And that's before we even get into the technological aspect of it. Do you even understand, just logically speaking, how stupid it is to say what the biggest boxing fights of all time are, unless you're talking about times that are of recent, where people could literally watch a fight in the palm of their hand, literally, from anywhere in the world. Just logically speaking, do you understand the level of stupidness that you would have? Now, not only is the biggest boxing fight of all time officially the correct answer, whoever lied the most in the press release, not only is that the official answer, nobody from DirecTV, Nobody from Time Warner, nobody from Comcast, publicly traded companies have ever come out and supported any notion ever of the biggest boxing fight. Never. It has always been a lie put out by a PR company that got gobbled up and reported. But we have a rare treat. We have a rare treat that if I did not have proof, if I could not prove to you guys that this happened, I would not even make this video because you would think I'm such a storyteller. Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson has come out and he has told us that his fight with Roy Jones, I can't do this. Vince, you're going to have to edit this. Ryan, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to try. You guys piece this together as best you can. I can't get through this with a straight face. Mike Tyson has come out and he has told us, as an honest man, through social media known as Twitter, that his fight with Roy Jones Jr. has broken the pre-purchased orders in boxing history. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't even know that that was a thing to have pre-purchased pay-per-view orders throughout boxing history. I didn't know that anybody ever actually documented that when even after the fact, Time Warner, Xfinity, DirecTV, Comcast, my uncle owns a satellite. Nobody's ever verified the numbers in the first place. But Tyson currently holds the record for pre-orders. Haters be damned, numbers don't lie. His evidence. Now, this is not unfounded, by the way. This is not a guy who has a financial interest who's trying to motivate. This is not a guy who in his downtime, because he's been in the mountains like Rocky, running through the snow and training so hard and hitting beef in the locker. I mean, he found a little bit of time to get to social media. We appreciate that. But his supporting proof was not from a verified account, not from a pay-per-view subscriber, not from a CEO or an executive at a company that would actually have access to this. His verified proof was a retweet of somebody who said, and they put it in caps, they capitalized it, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. currently hold pre-order pay-per-view record. So it's official.